forgot to mention. I actually was just on Facebook, my Facebook page. If you look me up, I'm Justin B. Smith. I'm like the first name that comes up there. But my friend, I'm not gonna mention her name. I'm just gonna call her Miss B. Miss B. Hyde. But she said on one of the she messaged one of my statuses, and she said she once met somebody, another gay black man who was a teenager, and he said he engaged in unprotected sex, and she said, she's like, why are you doing this to this kid? And he said, oh, well, because one day I expect to be HIV positive. He expects to be HIV positive. He says to himself, well, one day I'm going to become HIV positive. Like, it's a goal, like it's a goal, like a doctor would, like, I'm going to be a doctor one day. It's like I don't understand that. I know that we as gay black men are in trouble when it comes to this disease, but to have somebody so young and to think so less of himself, to say that he will contract this disease, there's nothing he can do about it. Sure, there's something you can do about it. Strap it up. Use a condom. You have so much control over your life. You need to make sure that you keep control over your life. It's just, I just can't believe sometimes with the things that I hear about these young guys today. It frightens me. I mean, I don't belittle anyone. I'm not mad at anybody. It hurts to my heart that I hear some of the things that they're going through, either being kicked out the house and having to turn to prostitution, turning to drugs, and then becoming HIV and then being infected with HIV. It's scary, but it's not uncommon, and that's what's really scary about it, that it's not uncommon. I don't know what to say sometimes when I think about all these pictures in my head. Like, I've been hit up so many times with these young guys, 19, 17, 20, their pictures are etched in my mind because I used to be where they are. I mean, I was infected in 2005 when I was 25, but where they are with themselves, their self-esteem being so low, we need to bring them back up. We as a community need to lift them up. What they say, out of the mouths of babes. It's just amazing what you hear. And I think that it's time for us to listen to them. It's time for us to take the time out and say, okay, this 20-something-year-old, this 19-year-old, they have something to say too, and they really need to be heard. If they're not heard by the older generation, what are they supposed to expect? Nothing. They're not going to expect anything. If you don't listen to them, they're going to turn to blind. They're not going to even listen to you. So any advice that you might have to give to them, they're not going to listen. They're not going to listen. I just hope that any 19 or 20 or any young person looking at this video right now, gets up and gets tested. Get up and go to the clinic and get tested. And it's funny because I remember one time I was in the club and I was handing out condoms at the club. One of the organizations that does that in DC is called Us Helping Us, and Whitman Walker does that too, and a lot of people do that. But I was at the club and it was, handing out the condoms, and this one guy said, oh, I don't need one. And I said, you don't need one? And he goes, no, I don't need one. I said, oh, you must have a lot at home. No, I don't have a lot at home. Well, you have sex, don't you? Yeah, of course I have sex. Of course I get my swerve on. Well, then you need one. You need a condom. You need a condom. Done. You have sex, you need a condom. Period. if you are positive, you still need a condom. Okay, if you're positive, you need a condom more. You need a condom more than anybody else. Honestly, you don't need to be infecting anybody else, and you don't need to be double infecting somebody else who's HIV positive. You need a condom. Period. Strap it up. Also, I wanted to say one thing. I kind of, since my journal entries, I've gotten a lot of feedback, and it's not only from, good and bad. It's it's been people reaching out to me. Like, I just got off the phone with a 20-year-old. I'm just gonna call him Tony, and he knows who he is, and this young guy was 20 years old. He just said to me, he goes, "Oh, I just found out my partner is HIV positive, and we just had unprotected sex a week ago." And I kind of, I knew what to say, but when it comes to this young guy called me, not in tears. He called me because he needed help. He called me because he wanted to talk to me, because he knew that I was somebody that he could talk to, that he could go to and be able to divulge his feelings to. And we need more of that. We need more of that. We need brothers and sisters, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whatever, to step up and say, "Hey, it's okay if you can talk to me. I understand you're having these issues. Just because I'm older, just because I'm younger, doesn't mean that we can't talk." There needs to be a mending of these two generations. There's a divide there, and I don't know what it is, but there's a divide between the baby boomers and Generation X and Generation Y, whatever. There's a divide there. Something is not connecting. Even though, I can speak for, the younger generation, lots of us didn't see in the 80s and early 90s, where people were dropping like flies, dying by the 10s, 20s, every single day. You didn't go on with life without going to a funeral of one of your friends. People dying all the time, of opportunistic diseases, having to take 20 pills a day rather than the 3 that I take every day. We didn't see that. And the younger generation is saying, what are we supposed to do? Oh, that's right. Well, what are we supposed to do? It's not our fault that we weren't there to see that. Maybe if we did see that, maybe there would be, maybe we would feel like we could reach out more, or maybe we feel that these services or resources, there would be more services and resources that we can reach out to. But they're there. There needs to be a mending between these two generations. There's something has been missed. I also think that the young generation sometimes thinks that I can just pop in some pills and I'll be fine. And that's the reason why I came out with this journal. We need to help each other. There's some sort of break there, but I'm willing to put in the work. Are you?